Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to read a AskReddit post that I found very interesting, and it's a little lighthearted and just fun to read and not so serious like my last video. So before we get started, I did want to mention that I just got this microphone, as you probably noticed. It is from Power DeWise. I got it on Amazon for like 20 bucks. It seems to be working really nice so far. I tested it and the quality seems to be significantly better than my camera, and it has extension wiring and a few other odds and ends that you might need. So if you're in the market for a cheap lapel camera, this one might work for you. I'll link it down below. Okay, so the AskReddit question of the day is, nurses and doctors of Reddit, what is your "they never taught this in school" moment? This one was fun. Patient in the ER gets a standard urine drug screen, positive for ethanol. Patient insists he did not drink alcohol. Test repeated, positive. Patient is very upset. He does not drink alcohol. Blood test was drawn, it's negative. We checked everything we could think of. Do we have the right urine, the right blood? It should be impossible to test positive in urine and negative in blood. Meanwhile, I finished his regular urine analysis. High white blood cell count and really high glucose. Elevated white cells means you need to look at under the microscope because they probably have an infection. It's loaded with yeast. Man was a diabetic, Bobby, and he had high glucose in his urine along with a yeast infection of his bladder. The yeast was fermenting the glucose to ethanol within his bladder. He was the man who peed beer. I literally just made a video about people who test positive for alcohol but they didn't drink. I literally just made this video. I'll link it up here. Roush Guy says, so that's how Bud Light got started? Girl, I know that's right. And Vectorman 1989 says, there was a guy in the UK that had to stop driving because he had auto brewery syndrome. That's what I'm saying. I just talked about that. Why does my channel revolve around alcohol? Anyway, next post from Jade. Nurse here. A very panicked nursing assistant came running to the desk one day saying, "You have to come see this. I don't know what this is." The NA brought me to the patient's room where she was giving a bath and points to an area on the patient's buttock. What is that? I lean in for a closer inspection when the patient starts to turn back around and says, "Is that my eye?" Sure enough, I didn't receive a report that the patient had a prosthetic eye, which at some point came out of socket and had become suction cupped to her buttock. I left the room and never laughed so hard in my life. Oh my god, I bet. That's hilarious. This one here is from an X-ray tech, X-ray Vision RT. Funny story at my own expense, I was in my first year of X-ray school at a community hospital in a mid-sized city. I don't even know what an enema was before, and one of the technologists asked me if I wanted to shadow and watch a BE on a 92-year-old lady. Of course, I watched them prep the barium and helped get this little white-haired old lady on the hard fluoro table with just a sheet under her. I acted super interested as I looked like a star student, but inside I was screaming. What a horrible and disgusting test. Years later, I would be assisting with decathograms. Oh, good lord, what is that? It does get worse? Oh my god. I'm so glad I was oblivious to fluoro GI studies prior to deciding on X-ray school. I might have decided another career path. Girl, yes. I feel like I would take many other diseases over GI related diseases. I feel like those are just miserable. Anyways, no one told me not to stand in the line of fire when they rolled the teeny furry old woman onto her left side. Let's just say I am glad I kept my mouth closed. No. Oh my god, stop. I was quickly and very quietly guided out of the fluoro room, up to the OR showers, given OR scripts to change into, and given the rest of the clinical day off scot-free. My $60 clinical scrubs were a total loss and put in the biohazard trash. Oh yeah, girl, you taking that shit home. I am pretty sure I showered for several hours following getting back to campus. Oh my god, yes. I feel like after I take care of somebody that is suffering from GI stuff, I literally shower forever. Alright, this one is from Spooky Crick. Took care of a young man with a gunshot wound to the abdomen. He had many complications. He was in the hospital for over a year. Oh my god. He had an ostomy bag for a while, but when he finally removed it, he was so nervous because he hadn't pooped in so long. His call light goes off and he says, "Go look in the toilet, you're never gonna believe this." Oh god. What are you walking into in this situation? I go in and there is poop in the toilet, his first solid poop I had seen in over a year. I walked out and gave him the biggest hug. Aww. He was so proud of his poop. I walked out of his room with tears in my eyes. Nursing school never prepared me for crying outside of a patient's room because I was happy that they pooped. I can relate to this. De La Nope writes, when I was a student, I accidentally degloved a patient from the elbow down. Oh god. What were you doing? They were incredibly sick, probably already brain dead. Oh no. And had one of the worst cases of toxic epidermal necrolysis I've ever seen. I have never seen that. I'll post a picture up, so trigger warning if that's gonna gross you out. Here it comes. Anyway, I am in there holding this lady's inside-out arm skin like an idiot, with the family standing in the corner horrified, and I just froze. My first thought was to kind of slide it back on, but thankfully one of the poor thing. Ophelia Kitty writes, one of my first dressing changes as a new burn RN involved removing the dressing from a guy's hand. While I am unwinding the dressing, the tips of his fingers crumble away. Holy shit. I thought I had done something horribly wrong. Oh my god, I'd be freaking out. And just froze. Then, my preceptor decides to pipe in and say, we were thinking that might happen. Like, thanks for the heads up. Speaking of thanks for the heads up, before I finished nursing school, I worked in an emergency room as registration. And we get a new admission into the psych rooms that are like completely empty, monitored by cameras. There was only 2 of them, so I assume it's a psych patient. So I go in and they're covered in like blankets and sheets, head to toe. And I'm like, are you fucking with me right now? Like, are you messing with me? Are you gonna try to scare me? Are you like having a panic attack? You're freaking out? What the hell is going on? So I go in and I go out and find the nurse and I'm like, is that guy okay? And she goes, no, he's dead. And I'm like, y'all could have told me. Y'all could have warned us, sister, but whatever. How are you not gonna tell me it's a DOA when I go in there and I have to touch him? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed these stories, you could leave your own down below. I'd love to hear them. And if you liked this video, you may like these popping up around, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.